Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi, welcome to Conversations with PMO. And this is yours truly, PMO. Hello, everyone. How are you? How's your day been? Trust your day has been good. Trust your day has been great. How's your week going? Hello, 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 everyone. You're welcome to Conversations with PMO. And we have been on a 40-day journey. And today is our 26th day and we're looking at my 26th life lesson. So we're going on a 40-day journey. And the last 5 days, we've been looking under the topic love and marriage. And it's actually been very insightful, instructive. I encourage you to watch the previous videos, I trust, or listen to it. The audio because I have it on my Anchor FM um, podcast under the title Pimo's Secrets. And yeah, sure, you can be blessed. As always, we are streaming live on three platforms right now. We're on YouTube, we are on my Facebook wall, and we are live on our Facebook. So, what do I have for us today? What do I want to talk about today? Uh, Love and marriage, love and marriage. Awesome. What do we have today? Love and marriage. So today, my 26th life lesson, to love is to give. Yes, to love is to give. There is no love without giving. And I'm going to break it down because I'm not talking about just material giving. Because when we say give, people's mind just go straight to material giving. Before I come to that, that is also important. So I'm not saying that is not important, but before I come to that, to love is to give. One of the most quoted scriptures, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave. It is very explicit. It is very, that verse is very clear, very, it's a straight point kind of verse. For God so loved the world. How much did he love the world? He showed that he loved the world by doing what? By giving. Remember, the very first lesson under this season is that love is a doing word, is an action word, is a verb. Love is not one of those things that you can do and not show. You have to show love. Love has to be seen. It has to be experienced. It has to be felt. So the same thing, to love is to give. There is no loving without giving. See, everyone, all these people that are just, I love you by mouth. No, there is no love without giving. And I'm not even limiting it to the romantic love between a man and a woman. The platonic love, between friends, between neighbors, between the friends in a group, or family, your mother, your father, your children, a nephew, a cousin, a sister, a brother. Whenever love is expressed, there's going to be a demand to give. You are either giving your time, you're either giving of yourself, you're giving your resource, you're giving your gifting, your talent. There is something that you are given. I know the Bible says here that for God so loved the world that he gave, but I want us to understand that there was an exchange as well. So, as much as God loved you so much, he gave you his son, you reciprocate that love by giving him your life. So there is an exchange that goes on wherever love, is expressed. You're giving him your life. And how do you express that? You give him your time. You give him of your resources. You give into what he's doing on earth in various forms, through charity, through the church, through organizations, through things that he's doing, that we see him doing. Of course, we know that what he's doing is not limited to the four walls of a building that we call church. He's also doing the kingdom. So there are various ways in which we can actually identify the things that God is doing. So to love is to give. And most times, our giving is unconditional. We often want to give with conditions. That's not love. That's not love. We always want to give if we know something is coming back in return. We feel more comfortable to give whatever it is that falls under the category of give now, once we know that there's something coming back, or we know that there's a reward. How about giving unconditionally? When God gave his son here, he gave his son to people who didn't even know him, who didn't serve him, who didn't exactly, let me use our language, who didn't send him. The Bible says, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So I think the giving aspect of love has to go beyond just saying give. It has to be descriptive. It has to be descriptive in talking about the how, which is unconditional. There are too many conditions, even in seemingly love relationships. If you love me, you will let me sleep with you. If you love me, you will empty your account for me. If you love me, you would give me everything I ask for. And there's just so much condition attached to it. And that's just the human side of expressing love. No, there are no conditions. And that's why love has to come from a pure heart and a pure place. And especially when it comes to the romantic love, you have to be sure before you are giving it, so that it's not taken for granted, so that it's not trampled upon. Love, to love is to give. And it's not always money. You're giving your time. Someone calls you on the phone, a friend, and you spend 30 minutes, you spend an hour. That is time. And we all know time is life. So when you give that precious time to someone, it's because you love them. It's because you love them. To, to love is to give. That's the totality of love. And can we try and remove the conditions? Oh, we say we love our fellow brother and sister, or whoever it is, and we say, okay, I love you, but I would only give you this if you do this. I would only do this if I get this. Why does it always have to look like there's an exchange? That has to be with conditions. By the time there are conditions to it, then there's a problem. By the time there are conditions to it, it's funny. Let me flip it, Seth. You find some believers, believing sisters, begin to date this guy, and they know the guy isn't born again. But then they say, okay, if you love me, you follow me to church. If you love me, you give your life to Christ. And I'm like, why are you kidding? Am I saying that we can't meet people and through our interaction with them they get born again? Oh, definitely, yes, sure. But then by the time the condition is, oh, for you to prove that you love me, you follow me to church. Okay, he will do that the first time, probably do that the second time. For some smart guys, they will do it probably all through the time they're trying to court you. And then once they are done and they feel like they have you tied to themselves, you can't tell them anymore now that you have to go to church. They'll tell you that they can't decide where they want to go or not. You shouldn't be the basis. Yes, you could influence it, But it shouldn't be the basis. Whoever is going to church or giving him or her life to Christ should be because they feel convinced and convicted. Like I said, you can influence it in the sense that, oh, they've seen you, they've studied you, they've fallen in love with you, understood, oh, there's just something different, awesome about you. I really want what you have. And that influences it. But their decision to be born again has to come from a place of conviction, a place of knowledge, not just, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, okay. And we found that happen a lot. And some men are so smart, they will dance to the gallery, they will follow you to all the places. But once they put that ring, like someone said, is the smallest handcuff. In some cases, I don't believe it anyway. In some cases, possibly, yeah, that's what it is. You know, once he puts that ring in your hand, and then we now begin to say, and he wasn't like that. And no, but you gave him conditions. You gave him conditions. He was just following through your conditions. Or, we begin to make some very unrealistic conditions and we say it's because you love the person. No, we don't do that. The Bible says perfect love cast out fear. Where there's love, there are no conditions, as it were. Love, to love is to give. And because to love is to give, for the single ladies, watching me, you are also mindful of who you give it to. You don't throw your pearls before swines. It's a form of giving, but you don't do that. You don't do that. Because to truly love is to give, but you need to be mindful of who you're giving to. Does the person value it? Will the person appreciate it? Will the person take care of it? Or the person is going to treat it like, it's worth nothing? Because giving is associated with love. So be very careful and mindful of who you give your love to. A lot of us spend quality time with people who we are trying so much to get them to love us. No, that's not love. That's not love. You spend time and effort. I mean, I hear of so many things going on social media, buying gifts for yourself and claiming that somebody bought it for you. I mean, how else can you be so, I don't even know what word to use. And then you find that happening a lot. A lot of people trying to buy love. No, love freely gives and freely receives. Freely gives and freely receives. There shouldn't be conditions attached to it. There shouldn't be conditions. When you begin to find conditions, run away. Oh, if you love me, you would you run away with me. Oh, if you love me, you would you the weirdest one I've heard, which really breaks my heart. Single mothers get into a relationship, and the men begin to blackmail them. If you love me, you will leave your son with your mother, and you say that's how you prove your love to a guy by abandoning your own child. Well, that's not love. That's manipulation. If he loves you as he claims, he would accept you and your child. Or you find people stringing people along, and they say, if you love me, and you wait for me, you wait no matter how long it takes. And you are stringing this lady along because you are so indecisive. You don't know what you want. You don't have clarity on where you're going and who you should tag along with or who should tag along with you. And then you're stringing them along with you because you want to be open to plenty options. No, that is manipulation. That's not love. To love is to give. My dear sisters, be mindful of how you give. because sometimes some of us are so full of love and we just feel like, we can just, love overflowing, let's just be dashing it everywhere. To love is to give. To love is to give. But at the same time, you're mindful of how you give. And in giving, the greatest is not money, the greatest is not material. The greatest in giving is yourself, your time, those things that cannot be quantified with money. That is it. All right. Thank you for joining me today. To love is to give. Don't forget that. Hold it with you in your right hand and, run with that. And be mindful of who you give and how you give it. Because giving comes with love. Yeah, they work hand in hand. When you truly love someone, you would give. But you don't want to give to the point where you are an emotional wreck, or you are, in that state where you feel totally uh, depleted. Some people get there because some people don't know how to receive love, how to appreciate love, and how to value it. I pray the Lord will grant us wisdom, and I pray that He will continue to help us, teach us, on how we should go and what we should do. Thank you for joining me this evening for my 26th life lesson. I'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m., for the 27th life lesson. I trust that you've been blessed. Have a beautiful night rest. See you tomorrow.